You already know I have a history of spending money on mobile games. I've already admitted it, okay? Everything that I said in that segment on stream was a lie. Literally, every time someone asked me about WWE Champions, yes, they call me DSP account in WWE Champions is my account, okay? That's mission number one. It is. It always was, okay?
What's going on, guys? I'm back here again with another video, and this video is going to be another video on another, I guess you could call it a locale named DSP. Now, this guy, if you know about him, if you've been watching him and keeping up with him for like the several years he's been out for a while, since like 2008, and I made another video on him like years ago on some other stuff involving him and Review Tech USA. But this video is going to be on a different subject, and this one's probably going to be on like the worst thing DSP's probably done. So if you don't know the story, DSP from around like 2016, 2017, and almost like always, except for like his beginning days, has begged for money a lot. Even before streaming, like he would e-bag a lot and everything. And at this point, DSP is basically known for being the king of e-beggars, you know what I mean? And, you know, there was some behind-the-scenes stuff that got found out, and of course some of the stuff I don't promote doing that they were doing to DSP, but it got found out that DSP was spending a lot of money on WWE champions, and a lot of people started calling him out for this and everything. And, you know, at first he denied that this WWE Champions account named They Call Me DSP was him. He said it was somebody else. And at this time, he was asking for money because he was apparently going to lose his house or whatever. He had all these bills to pay that he couldn't afford to pay for. And the reason why he did this was to make people feel sorry for him, you know. And a lot of this probably was a lie. Like 99.9999% sure a lot of this was either way over exaggerated or a total lie altogether. And just recently he put out a video saying that this account actually was his, that he's been using this account for years, or for about 7 years, I believe. And it came out that he had spent probably around like $30,000 on this game. I know, just insane for spending on a mobile game, just insane. I mean, literally, like, I've never heard of that amount of spending on a mobile game before, personally. I mean, maybe some people have done it that are insanely rich, but, like, you know, this is the same dude who's been, like, crying poor and saying that he can't afford to pay his bills, and back in, like, 2017, 2018, 2019, and even a bit, like, after that. This dude's been, like, begging for money for years to be able to, you know, afford his bills and everything like that, and, you know, he just admitted, basically, that he has been spending a lot of money on WWE Champions for years, and, like, dude, if you really were, like, you know, as poor as you say you are, not really, like, poor, but, like, you know, losing money as much as you said you were and weren't able to afford paying for your bills and everything, then why are you spending all this money on WWE Champions? And somehow, some way, of course, DSP tries to justify the entire thing. And of course I won't like respond to this point by point, really. There's a few points I do want to respond to, though. I won't show them in this video, but I will link the video where he talks about this whole thing in the description if you want to watch the whole thing yourself. But he tries to justify this whole thing basically by saying, well, my detractors went out there and sought out this information, so that means I'm in the right, basically. And of course he says this other point I want to point out too, which is the account apparently isn't his anymore. He sold it to somebody that he apparently doesn't know anything about. He doesn't even really know who it is. But of course he tries to justify it by saying, well, I sold the account, but it was just so I could make a little extra money because, you know, I was short on money at the time. Well, dude, maybe if you didn't spend so much of it on WWE Champions, then maybe you would be able to afford more shit, but, you know, that's your own problem, not the rest of the world's. But, of course, he kept asking for money and everything to pay his bills, apparently. And the thing is about this whole thing is if he was just asking, hey, can you guys support the stream, I'd much appreciate it, and didn't really give any further details as of, you know, what it was going to be spent on and everything, then, you know, I wouldn't mind so much, but he clearly was lying about what this money was going towards. He says he misspoke about what it went towards, which is just another way of saying he's lying, basically, and trying to make it sound like he wasn't doing as scummy of a thing as he was when he was the entire time. And of course, you know, whenever DSP comes out about something, he always tries to downplay, he always tries to make more excuses and or lie more, or just, you know, all of those things together, you know what I mean? And with just somebody like DSP, you never know the full truth on like anything they say because they lie so much. You know, I can't say what the full truth is in regards to this story, but I'm just giving my thoughts on this, and my thoughts are that he's lying about this whole thing, and that this account is still his, that, you know, he is down for the rafters, or down from the rafters, or whatever the hell his name is on there. You know, considering the fact that he's already lied about this account being his for years on end, like, why would you trust what he says now? He already came out and, like, lied about the whole thing, so, like, why would anybody believe him now? I don't get it personally. I don't get how anybody could buy this whole story personally. And, you know, of course, whenever DSP, quote-unquote, owns up to something, he always continues to lie about it or downplay it or whatever, instead of just saying, yeah, I did this thing, you know, I'll do whatever I can to change my behavior and not do this sort of thing again. You know, he doesn't do any of that. He just, you know, makes up more lies about it or downplays the entire thing, does anything but fully own up to it, you know. And I get, you know, e-bagging is something that's not necessarily new for DSP. I mean, back when he moved out of his condo back in the day, he was e-bagging a lot, and of course, you know, spent money on a ton of, like, garbage that he didn't even need, and, you know, basically still begged for money and everything, even though he was spending it on freaking, like, all sorts of, like, paintings and crap for his place and all that stuff. And it's like, you know, you see all this stuff and it's like, is this really a guy who's, like, struggling for money, or is he just wasting his money on useless nonsense? And I get, you know, it's his money to spend and everything, but don't lie to your fans about what this money's going towards. You know, if you're gonna be saying, oh yeah, I'd appreciate it if you guys gave me some money for my bills and everything because I'm struggling. You know, if he actually did that, you know, or didn't lie about it, people wouldn't care as much, you know, or just, you know, if he's not struggling, which I don't believe he is, I believe, you know, he's doing actually well financially, and he's just, you know, trying to cry poor at times just to try to get more money for WWE champions or whatever. Like, the dude just refuses to admit he has an addiction to this game, and he spends all money on all sorts of other useless nonsense too, gin and all that other crap, of course, too. But after this story, like, it just goes to show DSP is a complete pathological liar. Like, he'll try to justify it and everything by, you know, saying, oh, my detractor sought this information out, though. Well, dude, it doesn't matter. You were still, like, showing that you were lying to your fans about where all this money was going towards, you know, and try to make up this whole sob story about it just to get people to feel sorry for you, just so they could give you money, and just for you to spend it on WWE champions or whatever the hell else, you know, you spend your money on that's a non-necessity. And honestly, you know, if there wasn't, you know, this, like, just how DSP is as a person, you know, with all the lying he's done and everything and all that stuff in regards to, like, his e-bagging, and he just did, you know, playthrough streams or whatever, you know, I wouldn't mind as much, you know, but, like, when he's doing stuff like this, like, blatantly lying to his fans and everything, then it kind of is going to get you some backlash, and, you know, that's on nobody but you know? You know, it's not your detractor's fault that, like, you do the things you do. And I'm not going to say everything that his detractors have done has been good, but, like, you know, he always uses his detractors as a scapegoat for, like, everything, you know? And honestly, I've just come to this conclusion about DSP, but, you know, I think he cares more about what his detractors think than what his fans think, you know, because this whole thing just goes to show, you know, he's trying to, you know, come clean to his detractors and everything to try to make himself look better, like, you know, he didn't do as much wrong as they think, but this just goes to show he is doing more wrong probably than we ever thought. And not only is he caught up in this whole web of, you know, his detractors and everything, and, you know, trying to look good for them and, like, always trying to one-up them, but, like, he's one of the ones that actually proves his detractors right a lot of the time. So, you know, that's basically all I have to say for this whole thing. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this. You know, if you think he's not lying, let me know. If you think he is lying about this whole WWE Champions thing, let me know. And I will catch you guys later. Peace out.